It is a Thanksgiving Monday of action here at Woodbine under overcast skies, but I'm always thankful to be able to work with my good friend Elisa Blow. My name is Jeff Bratz. Happy Columbus Day to all our American friends as well. Lots of festivities taking place. And a lot of households today. Thus, we do have an abbreviated program of 7 races. And I'll tell you, Elisa, how good a day you had yesterday.
I had a good day.
You had such a good day yesterday that you had 3 times as many winners as the Blue Jays had hits last night. You had 6 winners, and the Blue Jays only had 2 hits. So maybe can we get some of your offense down at the Dome
Well,
today?
I hope Tyrone Harding is watching because he pulled me in the other day and he said, your picks stink lately. And I was like, hey.
Our paddock judge would say that to you?
He did,
Well,
he did. So I hope
nice.
you're watching, Tyrone, because we got 6 of them home yesterday. Go-Kart Mozart was one that we got at a good price, $9.50. You know, yesterday was an interesting day because at the beginning of the day we were talking about how quiet things had been for Pietro Moreno, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 the kid had 4 winners.
Yeah, no, really good day. And you were mentioning actually too, you know, prior to Austin missing the action today, he actually had a bit of a light day today. Now he's picked up a bunch of mounts.
Yeah, he's picked up a lot of mounts, which is surprising that he didn't really have a ton of calls on today's card. So that's interesting that he's going to pick those up too. A couple of stakes events yesterday as well, but all in all, pretty good day as far as handicapping was concerned. But we didn't have favorites winning until race number 6 on the card yesterday.
And Speed did very well on the program yesterday, winning 7 of the 10 main track races. We only had 1 race on the turf. We're going to have, obviously, the inside path being prominent yet again. Outside path, they produced 3 winners. Favorites overall, clicking at a pretty good rate. And the average win payout was $13.27. We're going to have Michael Copeland, our CEO of Woodbine, join us a little bit later on in the broadcast today. And we're going to touch on racing on the inside turf course this season, Elisa, and the fact that the weather's been so good as of late. We might be able to go a little bit later in the season.
Wouldn't that be nice? Because, you know, we really do depend on grass racing for some of our bigger fields. Yesterday, of course, we had the 2 stakes events. As mentioned, the Display was the first one. Jupiter, the horse that you and I liked, ended up getting the win, but he had to work pretty hard for it too, Jeff, because, you know, he was on the outside. Yesterday, not the far outside, but in the middle. You know, yesterday again the rail was good, but we did have some winners on the outside of the track.
We did, which have been few and far between. To have 3 of them from the outside, that's saying something. But yeah, Jupiter able to pull off the win, and I'm becoming a huge fan of this next horse.
Yeah.
This is one of the name of Piper's Gift. I don't listen. At some point, Mr. Diverseau is going to have a tough call because he's got 2 very good Canadian-bred fillies in his requirements.
He does. He's got Dixie Law that he won the stake with last weekend, and he's got Piper's Gift. Now, they're for different owners, but Rafi's been riding both of them, too.
Good point.
So everybody has some decisions to make. I guess maybe we'll see these gals face off against one another in the Princess Elizabeth. That's a possibility. Could see them in the Mazarine, but this is a lovely horse. And as I mentioned yesterday in the interview, Yorkton sired Piper's Gift, and we're going to have Yorkton standing here in Ontario, so that's good news.
I was talking with a friend last night, and I was saying to him, I said, which one do you think is better, Dixie Law or Piper's Gift? And we really couldn't come with a concrete answer.
I know, because Dixie Law beat the boys, which is a good thing. The girls ran significantly faster than the boys did yesterday as well. We got a lot of girl power here this season.
Yeah, we got one of the best right here to the right, who I understand makes a mean ham. That is her Thanksgiving specialty dish.
I woke up this morning 5:30 a.m. to put that ham in the oven for the gang upstairs.
Is it a big sucker? Yeah, all right. I like it. I like it.
Let's put it this way. I might stink like ham for the next week or so, and if you come into my house,
you're going to have some leftovers?
I don't know. The guys upstairs,
they're pretty hungry bunch.
Alrighty.
So we get on the inside turf course to start off our show here today. We'll start off with race number 1 going a mile, and you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to talk about this race. Now, obviously, the class of the race is La Classe. I mean, you finished 3rd in the Natelma, now you're going to get some main specialty competition. I think it's safe to say that's a massive drop down in class. However, one that did impress us first time out is Scotch Mist. Now, things did not go right for this horse right from the start.
No. In fact, we're going to show you the replay from this horse as well, because you know, we're at the back of the bus and we end up coming with a good late kick. It's easy to find this horse too, Jeff, because it's the gray. It's the lone gray in the field, and this one, of course, coming out of the McRae outfit. So watch for the late move here on the outside of the racetrack to under Jose Campos. Now, I like Jose, especially with 2-year-olds. I think he gives them, you know, great trips where he's able to educate them, and he keeps after them too, because a 2-year-old can get a little, well, because they're so uneducated, they can get a little lackadaisical down the stretch, start looking at things, but he kind of keeps going to work. And one thing I like about him is that left-handed stick. When he switches to the left hand, he's able to get a lot of late run out of this filly. So just watch for that. That's I think Jose's secret weapon is that left hand. But look at the gallop out.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is she hooks a really tough horse today in the 4, which is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
That being the Kevin Attard runner. Kevin had a good day yesterday. Won a couple of races on the program, Mystic Song and Party On. Both those horses were on the drop. He's been kind of cleaning house as of late, or at least putting horses into lower price tags. And this one's, as you said, comes out of a graded stakes effort in the Grade 1 Natalma and is here to break her maiden today. So it looks like it. Hey, and those Knicks Go, they've turned out to be good so far for a young sire. This one was purchased for 70 G's by the Unwellings, who invest quite a lot of money into horse racing. The other one coming out of the Grade 1 Natalma is the 6 Pina Colada. Mark Cassie's barn has been a little quiet lately, but they started to pick things up over the last couple of days. We saw Jupiter in the winner's circle yesterday for Cassie, and Divinely Inspired was a 2-year-old winner for Cassie and husbands that returned over $10.
Well, they dropped down a class yesterday, so a good number there. So we're going to bank the time here. They were a little late starting the time because they were thankful to have you working today, so they said we're going to give Lisa some bonus time.
Okay, you know, there's only so much you can say when you have a 6-horse field.
Topic number 2 is 2-year-old maidens, which means we're going to skip race number 2 and we're going to get to race number 3. Could the roll continue for Dale de Rousseau? That's a possibility in here. You've got Mr. Perfect coming off a good run, and poor Swift Attraction did not have a great beginning last time out. So I am one that tends to overthink things in life. I am fully admitting of that, and it is a huge fault of mine. But here is the simple as Time Zapper, or are you going to move on to something else?
No, I think it's as simple as Time Zapper. I mean, first of all, you get DeRusso, and DeRusso's had such a fantastic season with his 2-year-olds. You were mentioning it yesterday. I talked to Dale about it in the winner's circle. His goal was to get to $1 million in purse earnings, and he's not going to have a problem getting to that. And I wonder what the goal will be for next year with these really nice 2-year-olds turning 3.
$2 million.
$2 million, and maybe a Canadian Classic.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Maybe something like that. But Time Zapper's here for Centennial Farms. You know, a number of on-the-board efforts. We just got to get through and get this maiden out of the way. And you and I agree, anytime we see Raffi on board for Dale, we always feel really good about that. So I think it's as easy as the 1. I think then you could look at a horse like this 5, Mr. Perfect, who ran decently when dropped in from Maiden Special and for the optional 40 behind Navy Street. Navy Street ran a huge race in the stake yesterday.
Yeah, just
finished second.
Yeah, just held on for a second.
It was the speed of that race, which is kind of what I was thinking. I thought, you know, with the Jimmy Creed in that horse, we might see speed there. But Mr. Perfect comes out of a second place effort behind now a stakes place, Navy Street. That's a good reference for that horse. And then, you know, there's some horses here with some pedigree that you and I are going to know really well. One of them is the 4 Master Steel, who's a full to Cara Cara.
Yeah, and Cara Cara's made a lot of money so far in her career. So it's going to start from post position number 4. You've got Call Me Bond. That's a cleverly named horse. That's a Bond Street. Call Me Bond.
Do you remember the mare too, Dancing Doris?
Of course.
She was a great mare. I mean, she made well over $300,000.
Stakes place.
And Lori Silvera had her.
Yep. Very good horse. Very good horse. Was second the Nandy Stakes, as a matter of fact. So there you go. Half a dozen for you to consider there in race number 3 as we get set to go 5.5 furlongs in that one. Topic number 3. There's a new sheriff in town, folks. And this is Sheriff Ali. Now, my question to you is, do you have any concern at all that the horse ran this massive number last time out, that we might get a bit of regression?
Jeff, I think you and I had the same conversation before the horse raced on September 26th, because he was coming in off of what at that point was one of his lifetime best buyers, which was a 75, and he got beat by a filly that start, Grey Princess. But I think we were wondering if the horse might regress on the September 26th start, and that wasn't the case. I mean, this horse looked like a good thing. That was a monster effort with an 87 Beyer speed figure. Now, I am a little leery of a bounce here today. So for that reason, I took a horse who's kind of consistently in the low 80s, that being the 3-horse Swan Lake for Ryan Munger. You get Zelko Kretschmark horse, the conditioner of this one. And I just thought, we're sitting on it. We're sitting on a win, right? We've got a second to Sheriff Ali, a second to This Dude Zabreeze, a third to Wentru. This Dude Zabreeze is a question mark for me in this spot, because I think they were disappointed with what happened last start on September 26th. I think this horse pressed with another up on the front end, and then just there was nothing in the tank when we turned for home.
Yeah, on that day it was all speed for the most part, so I think some of the riders started to override things a little bit on the track, and that allowed Sheriff Ali to come from off the pace. Sheriff Ali was the only horse to come from off the pace to win on that entire program.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that's a bit of a feather in that one's cap. And Sheriff Ali, when he gets good, he can stay good for a little while in there. You got CC's Kingdom as well. That's one of the, from an overall depth point of view, that race got a lot more depth than a lot of our other races have on today's program.
It does, yeah, because you have a number of, can This Dude Zabreeze turn the tables this time? Is Sheriff Ali going to bounce? Is Swan Lake finally going to break through? There's a few questions here.
So race number 4, we'll kick off the pick 4, races 4, 5, 6, and 7. Last pick 3 of the week goes as race number 5 on the program. We're going to go 3/4 of a mile in here. And look at the names we have in this race. So we've got Atfield Dropping, Hall of Famer. Tiller, Hall of Famer, with Back on the Chain Gang. That horse is obviously in razor sharp form right now. And then you have some of the other horses in this race that are trying to kind of get back on track, like Secret Threat. This guy has not won a race for such a long time, which is very uncharacteristic for this outfit.
Yeah, I went with the 4 because it's Roger. In fact, I took a Hall of Fame exactor in this race, right? So you get Roger with a horse taking the drop, and that's from 40 in for $25,000. Roger dropped one in, a couple of weeks ago, I would say.
Yeah, two-way crossing.
Dale DeRusso got the horse. Richie Morton got the horse. We were kind of thinking that maybe the Valedictory might be what they're going to go to with that one. But, here's the thing. I guess Roger's same deal. Got a clean house. He might have some youngsters that he wants to bring along over the winter months, but maybe this one just doesn't make the cut for next year. So Paint the Town Silver on the drop here for $25,000 is the way I'm going to go. And then I'll use the 5 Back on the Chain Gang. We have talked about this quite a few times, that Sophia Vivez is on the shelf, and she's going to be on it for quite some time after breaking her pelvis. And unfortunately for her, 2 of her mounts came back to run monster races and win. Go-Kart Mozart was one of them on yesterday's program that won with Pietro Moran riding. And we were saying yesterday, too, we don't see Pietro riding a lot for Hall of Famer Bob Tiller, but I think we're going to see a lot more of it.
You don't have to give some props to in this race, and I don't think he's good enough to win it. But our buddy Frack Wright can sometimes be a bit of a mess in the paddock.
Yeah.
But I've always thought of him as a lead type. He actually was able to relax last time at a little bit in that race. I think that's an encouraging sign for his career. I don't know if he's good enough to win here, but I think that's an encouraging sign.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, we have seen him kind of wash himself out in the paddock, haven't we? Yeah. And he has been able to at least settle down lately.
So race 5, we'll start off the late pick 3. Let's talk about a debuter in here. And we have one by the name of Cajun Influence. It's going to take on some that do have racing experience. We are fans of the stallion too that Cajun Influences by, because he is very good with first-time starters.
Yeah, okay, so here's some interesting things on this Cajun experience. So Jeff and I both love looking up pedigrees, and obviously there's a reason the horse missed the 2-year-old campaign, so guess we'll find out when we get a chance to see the horse. But this is a good producing mare, a really nice producer. This is her 11th foal. She's had 9 winners, 4 stakes placed horses. I mean, she throws nothing but runners. And really, I'm just banking on the mare is the reason why I put the 2 in the top spot, Cajun Influence. I used her. I used Cassie, because how do you leave the Cassie horse out? I mean, there's lots of breaks in the horse's career, but what have they really hooked here today? It's 2 and 3 all day long for so many of us as far as selections are concerned.
And I love how it works in the broodmare game too sometimes, because you spoke about how nice a broodmare this Cajun Dawn has been. She never came close to winning a race. She ran 9 times and finished 3rd twice.
Crazy.
That was it. Now, she is a daughter of Awesome again, which does help. But, it just goes to show you're never sure what you're going to get from a broodmare point of view. We have a photo courtesy of Robert Geller. I don't know if he delivered turkeys or treats to some of his friends today, but there's a look at lover boy Mo. And a
jealous friend.
That's
Is lover
right.
boy Mo the horse looking out of the stall or this horse?
Well, I'll have to ask Robert.
Well, that's Devin, so I'm guessing that's lover boy Mo.
Side,
yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
But there's a jealous friend that
That
wants a
is
picture
true.
taken too.
That is true. See, Robert's got the treats, and they can all hear the treats, all right? So that's a possibility there. Loverboy Mo coming off a second place finish in that most recent race. Time Passes. Time Passes, the 3, has got something that I absolutely despise from handicapping a horse.
What's that now?
Gap in races
Yep.
and gaps in works.
That, but I mean, really, he's not this time. They're hot. And really,
Yep.
what again, I think
It's not a tough field.
What's he hooked?
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
it's not tough.
Yeah,
They paid
this isn't that tough.
$450,000 for him, but he can't put works together and he can't put races together.
No, but
so.
he does retain Saheen. And by the way, today is Saheen's last day.
His last
here at
day, yeah. So we want to wish all the best to our friend
all the best,
Saheen
buddy. I
going
really
down to
am
New
going to
York.
miss him riding here.
And if we ever go down
Yeah.
to New York, we expect a free dinner, Saheen. We want to go to that place. What's that place that we always brag about in New York?
Don Pepe's.
Yes, that's where we want to go.
It's the best. There's Tyrone. There's Tyrone. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, he knows that you picked some winners?
Yeah, he does.
Well,
And if he
good.
doesn't, I'm going to remind him all day long.
Yes, race 7 will be around 2 turns of a mile, and the 16th is the jackpot high 5 finale in here.
Hey, Jeff, we got one for you to ride.
The rider's name is just T.
Well,
Maybe is it T Harding? No, it's
Wouldn't that be fun?
to be announced with.
I don't think his wife would like that very
with
much.
Perfect Place. We're still awaiting a rider on that one. You could not pay me enough money. If you said, Jeff, I'll give you $1 million to ride this race, I would say you are insane.
I'd be a little concerned about the overweight.
Oh, it'd be
Yeah.
a big time overweight, especially. Although Thanksgiving dinner's tonight, so I still have 5 pounds to spare. So jackpot I-5 carryover over $6,000 in here. Where are you going?
Conacher.
Okay.
I mean, look, I trust when these big outfits drop these horses in that they're in for the right prices. And Kevin dropped this horse in for $15,000, and that was the right price. And as is the case many times in this Pozzanelli barn, they'll go all over the place. They'll try all sorts of different things. And, you know, we saw the barn in the winner's circle the other day, and I think this is just, come on, this is like reality has hit home, and we're going to run Conacher for $7,500, and we're going to put him on Lasix here today, which is interesting too. I think that Campos tends to get the best Pozzanelli horses lately. He gets some of the better rides from that outfit, so I'll go with that one on top over the 6. You know, the 6 horse Armino was a winner. Last started out, and that was against Maidens for 10.
Yeah.
So we're tackling, you know, nominers at 2 for $7,500, which you and I like. That's a move that we like. So it's 3 and 6, and then maybe even King Putt could toss himself into the mix
It's
as well.
brave up front. And the horse
Yeah.
we were speaking of for the Pozzanelli barn was Super Sunday, who did exactly the same thing as this horse. They experimented with a bunch of different things. It took the drop and it paid off.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they're doing right
Yep.
now with Conacher as well. So I can kind of see
You
what you're
can't
going.
be messing around anymore. We only have we have like less than 40 days left of racing, and you've got to make that money.
Yeah, I've got to book my vacation to the Bahamas for 3 months.
Is that where you're headed?
I'm going to go for 3
lovely.
months. I better get some plays of the
Where
day
did you say
then.
you're going? To the Barbados?
Bahamas.
Oh, see, I was yesterday. Did you? There was a racing oddity that happened here yesterday in the last race on the program.
saw Bayesian Riders.
Bayesian Riders finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
eh?
if you played the Bayesian Riders, you should have got the jackpot high 5
Yeah,
yesterday.
you know, I've never been to Barbados. I'd love to go.
You
Have
need to
been?
go. No, why don't we wing it? We'll
Okay,
head over there this year.
perfect.
I think Robert has headed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be you know. Listen, they have a lot of fun, especially when it comes to Gold Cup time.
Yeah. So there's look at your plays of the day. I don't think we really touched on them, but we've touched on all these horses except for
Busick.
Busick.
Yeah, that's the second race.
I'm with you though.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
comeback race was good enough, and there's not a ton in that race.
No, there isn't.
I think
so,
I made that horse my best bet. as a matter
yeah,
of fact.
I mean, yeah, it's fresh legs. I got to figure, you know, too, that with today being Saheen's last day, he's going to try and go out a winner with a few of these horses.
We have breaking news. We have the rider on perfect play. It is going to be Juan Crawford. Let's
Okay.
write that one. So put Juan Crawford on perfect play, and we have a corrected weight there of 121 pounds. So Juan beat me by about 80 pounds.
Okay, got it. And I'm 110.
Let's take a look at the others. Mulaney, that's the Beat the Fave. Busick, that's where Ronnie is going to go, and Time Zapper. Yeah, I think we're all kind of formful when it comes to those plays.
Feels like
today.
a chalky day, doesn't it?
It does, which means it's going to be 6 long shots and 7 races. Today you have an interesting trifecta. You get the Leafs at 2.
That's right.
You get the Jays at 5, and you get the Bills, I think they start at 7.
So I actually stayed awake for the whole Jays game yesterday. And like you, I had to change the channel a few times.
Not good. Not good.
No, but you know, I was listening to the news talk, you know, coming in today, and they were saying, like, what's better? And you mentioned this to me yesterday. What's better, coming back off of the layoff or going straight from, you know, one coast to the other with not a ton of rest and you know, being live there yesterday?
I know the answer now.
Yeah, we got to wake up off of that nap that we had with a little bit of a break. Cajun Influence, the lone clocker horse
for today, Ernie Perry. So that one's going to take a lot of moolah. So there you go. Just a schedule note that we are back with you on Thursday, because sometimes we race on Mondays. We take the previous Thursday off or the Thursday after. We took last Thursday off, so we're back.
And what time?
That will be at 5:30.
Yeah, I think we're back to the regular schedule for the rest of the season.
Program. Yes.
Right?
I think.
I hope.
Well, there might be adjustments for Breeders' Cup and stuff like that, but don't worry about that right now.
Okay.
21 minutes away from race number 1. I got to make sure that the show's over, because sometimes I forget.
Oh, it's over. They're playing the music.
Oh, there you go. It's done. We'll get you set for the opener.